Hey everyone, today I am going to be giving an update on my makeup challenges that I gave myself for the month of January. Let's see how I did. What should we start with? 'Cause I did 3 different ones. I did eyeshadow, a lips, and concealer. Let's start with eyeshadow. I feel like that'll be the quickest and easiest to go through because I only used one eyeshadow palette and there's only 3 shades in here. I am happy to say that I did complete this challenge. I used each of these shades at least once throughout January, and actually this became the palette that I stuck in my everyday makeup area basket. And so I reached for this every time that I may have wanted a similar shade to one of these. This is what I reached for. It was a very simple and basic palette that was easy to use. I feel like it was shades that I would reach for often and are very, like, not too much. So I can wear them to work, I could wear it when I'm doing a video conference, I could wear it just out and about or whatever. So we have the 3 shades here. The lightest shimmery shade here was actually the shade that I used the most. I didn't tally how many times I used each of these shades. I already do that for other products for my project pans, so I just didn't want to do that for this one. I did enjoy this shade in particular, and I also used this middle shade a couple of times in my crease, and I know I used this darker shade once or twice. After using this, I realized that these shades are shades that I want to have in my makeup collection. The thing is that I went through specifically my other palettes. I have single eyeshadows that are very similar shades as well, so that can be on top of my reasoning, but I looked at my palettes and at least 2 other palettes have all 3 of similar shades. So I feel like out of those 2 palettes plus this palette, I would prefer the other 2 palettes. I just don't feel this is a very necessary product, but not bad. Like, this definitely worked for my eyes, even though it's a brow product trio. You can use it for your eyes. It didn't give me any issues with my eyes or anything like that. I was slightly concerned that was going to happen, but it didn't. I'm going to declutter this from my collection. I just don't want to have too much that I'm not going to be able to get to, and because this is already older product, I'm just going to pass it on. In February, I am also going to try another eyeshadow palette, and the one that I'm going to be working on in February this coming month is this one right here from Lorac. Now this is like a smaller palette as well, and this is their Tails and Top Hats eyeshadow palette, and this one has quite a bit more shades, so this will be a little more of a challenge. There are more than 3 shades here. There are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 shades. So yes, we just bumped up from 3 to 7. And I am going to, again, make it my goal to use at least each of these colors at least once throughout this month. Now I know I really enjoy this palette. I don't think this is going to be one that I declutter. I think I'm going to keep it, but I really want to play with it again because I do remember really enjoying it. We'll see how I do. Hopefully I do all right, and then I can kind of give you my thoughts next update. Next challenge I'm going to talk about is the concealer challenge. So I had this little container here of concealers to go through. Made it my goal to use all of these concealers at least once. Now I did and I didn't reach that goal. Now I'll explain in a minute. So I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I've got 8 concealers here, and I used 7 of them. Now the one that I did not use was this Clinique one, and I really thought about this and I really wanted to use it, but this is the only one that I have not opened yet, right? So 7 additional concealers in here that have been opened already. Now the likelihood of me going through those 7 or 6 concealers this year is not very high. So I just don't want to waste this product as well. So I'm gonna keep it unused for now. Also, when I started this challenge for myself, I had mentioned and hinted at me using this product in that video, and this is the e.l.f. HD Lifting Concealer in Fair. And I did not use it again after that initial use. I didn't like it. The color was just so far off that I'm decluttering this. This is going. I'm not going to use this any longer. This is older, I think, and I can now focus on the 6 that I have remaining. So this one is going away. That is another declutter. Next thing I'm going to say is, even though I used the remaining 6 concealers at least once throughout this past month in January, I focused only on 3 of those 6. So I used 3 of these concealers multiple times to really form an opinion on them. So going forward, the 3 that I did not use consistently, I will likely continue to try those out more going forward. But that's not going to be part of my challenge. I'm going to move on to a different challenge. I still feel pretty good about how I did with my concealers in January. So let's talk about the first one that I really focused, narrowed in on, and that's the Benefit Erase Paste Concealer in the shade 1. So one of you, I love hearing from you guys, by the way, commented down below on my intro to this and told me that this is actually more of an under eye corrector. And yes, you are absolutely 100% correct. And thank you for saying that, because when I initially used this, the first time I used it, I was like, oh great, this looks awesome. And I did not put a concealer over top, and it actually worked. I think I had some insanely dark under eyes that day. But then the next couple of times that I used it, I was like, okay, well this is a little bit of a peachier kind of shade, and you can kind of tell a little bit that it's not like matching my skin tone. What I ended up doing was I just put this on, and then I took my foundation and kind of just brought up my foundation to where I would usually apply concealer on top of this, and it worked great. It worked great that way. That way I didn't have to layer on concealer, although I think I might try layering on another concealer on top of this and see how that goes, but definitely putting foundation over top of this worked amazing. Like, it was great. So loved this product as an under eye corrector, not a concealer. So keeping this one for sure. The second concealer that I focused on, and again, thank you for the comments. I know that I heard that this was a favorite of you guys as well, and I agree. This is a favorite of mine now going forward. I'm so glad that I started using it. This is the Tarte Shape Tape, and this is in Fair Beige. And I just need the tiniest little bit under each eye of this product, and it's great. I love it. I think you can get carried away with this product, and if you put too much under your eye, I think that it's not the greatest. But when you just put the tiniest bit, oh, it's amazing. The third concealer that I really focused on was by Urban Decay, and this is their Naked Skin Weightless Complete Coverage Concealer, and this one is in Fair Neutral. Now, the shade on this was perfect. It was perfect. My first use of this, I would have decluttered this. The first use did not go well. I applied it with my fingers like I normally do. It was bad. It went totally wrong. I don't know if it's the formula maybe has changed or if that's just how this product is, but it was bad. I wouldn't have left the house like that. I had to take it off. Then I decided to give it a second chance when I was not leaving the house, and I used like a small beauty sponge for under my eyes with this product, and it worked. It looked good. Looked good with a sponge, so you gotta use a sponge with this, or at least for me, I had to use a sponge for this. So I continued to use it with a sponge just to kind of see if it was a fluke or if this is a product I want to continue to use and try out. And I think I really like it when I use the sponge. So I'm going to keep it and continue to use it. Moving on to the other 3 concealers that I did use once each. I want to continue to use these. Catrice Camouflage High Coverage Concealer in the shade Porcelain that I still want to work on. I'm a little concerned that this may have a little bit too much of gray undertone, so I do want to play around with this one some more. And then the Benefit Boing Stick Concealer, I really want to play around with this one some more as well. I feel like my initial use of it, I really enjoyed it. And then the Amazing Cosmetics Concealer, I also want to play around with some more as well. So that's how I did. That's how I did with my concealer. We decluttered 1, we really focused and narrowed in on 3 to form an opinion, and we did not use this one. That being said, I do want to continue with this because that was fun and I really enjoyed using the products that I already have in my collection. Like, it was so nice to rediscover what I've already purchased, right? So anyway, we're gonna continue with this and do primer. I have a primer that I'm currently using, so I'll have to show you that and insert that in. I forgot to go grab it. But it is a green concealer and it is from CoverGirl, and I have been really enjoying it, and that's the one that I have been consistently using. Another one that I have from Wet n Wild is their Impossible Primer, and this is a silicone-free primer. And I know I've used it before a couple of times, and I just kind of want to use it again and really form an opinion on it. I also have this little mini guy that I have not used or tried out before, and this is by Jane Irondale. This is their Smooth Affair Illuminating Glow. Smashbox of the original Photo Finish Smooth and Blur Primer. I feel like I always have a different opinion on this one. Sometimes I don't like it, sometimes I do. So I really need to actually, this will be one of the ones I definitely focus on to really know whether I want to keep it or get rid of it. A Benefit Professional Hydrate Primer, because I don't like their original one. And this one, I cannot remember how I felt about it. I feel like maybe this one I kind of felt the same way as the Smashbox one. Like, sometimes I liked it and sometimes I didn't. So this will be another one that I probably narrow in on and focus on. Another mini, and this one I have not tried. This is by Tarte, and this is their Clean Slate Timeless Smoothing Primer. So this is one of those like putty kind of primers. I've never used a putty primer, and I know they were like a thing for a while. So yeah, kind of excited to try this one out and discover what a putty primer is like on me. And then lastly, so this will be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. This will be number 7. So yeah, 7 primers total to try out. This is from Peach and Lily, and this is their Skin Shield Blurring Primer. And this is another one I have not opened. We have some new things to try out. We have some things that I've dabbled with before that I want to form more an opinion on. So yeah, that should be fun. I'm looking forward to playing with my primers this time. And lastly is my lip challenge that I did in January. Now, this one I am not calling a success, okay? I called the other 2 successes. I moved forward and into new projects with both of those. But this one, I had a feeling that it wasn't going to work out. But let's get into it, okay? I'm actually wearing one of the colors today. We'll talk. Let's talk. The first one that I used was this, and this is from Laura Geller. It's their 50 Kisses Lip Locking Liquid Color, and this is in the shade Ravishing Rose. And I remember liking this. I used this a couple of times. This was one that I kind of narrowed in on and focused on because it was the first one I tried, and I was confused by it. I tried it, and it was, I felt like I put too much on. It was very intense. I was like, not sure I want to keep this color. Super matte. Like, it was so drying. And I know this is like a liquid lipstick, but it was so drying and I did not like it. So then I decided, okay, let's try it again. Maybe we just pat it on. Maybe we don't like just slather it on. And it was messy. It was so messy. And it ended up bleeding outside my lip lines. So I was like, okay, let's give it another shot. I wore it again and I put like a lip gloss type of thing on top. I think I might have done that twice with 2 different lip products on top of it so that it wasn't so matte. And that worked. It worked. But the likelihood of me reaching for this product over one of these other ones, or instead of like the tons of lip products that I have in my collection, is slim to none. So I am going to be decluttering this one as well. So that's my 3rd declutter from this challenge in January. Now, because I use that so many times is probably the reason I did not complete this challenge, because I did use 2 more of the lip products, but I did not use these 2 bullet ones. The first one I want to talk about is this Clinique one right here, Black Honey. And I'm not sure what this formula is because this was a sample, but it's basically in a little roll-up tubey thing like this, and it looks super dark and kind of a little intimidating. But it comes out a little more sheer than this, and you can definitely build it up or you can keep it sheared out, and it's a balmy feeling on the lips, so it feels very comfortable, and I really liked that about it. So I am going to keep this. The next product that I used today. So today was the one use. And this is from Ulta. This is their lip crayon in Daredevil, and this is what it looks like. Giving you a close up. So I was going to do swatches and I didn't. Here's your one lip swatch. It's very comfortable. I've only had it on for a little bit, but it's not drying and it was easy to apply. And so far it has not bled outside my lip line, but we will see what happens. Now, the 2 Revlon ones I have not used are the Mauve Nights and Black Cherry. I have not had the opportunity, or I just did not use these yet. So I still want to use them. I still want to form an opinion on them. So this lip challenge in this color shade range, I'm continuing. I'm going to continue it into February. I'm going to continue to play with these 4 products remaining and collect some more thoughts on that. I hope you guys enjoyed watching this. I hope this was kind of fun for you and something a little bit different. If you are doing any kind of challenge for your makeup this year, I know I heard from a few of you and I was super excited to hear what you guys are doing. Let me know down below. I love hearing from you guys, and sometimes I really get inspired by you and get some really good ideas. So I want to hear, leave them down below. What are you doing makeup wise or challenge wise? Maybe not with makeup, maybe it could be any kind of beauty product this year. All right, I will talk to y'all later. I hope you all have a wonderful and beautiful rest of your day. Take care, everyone. Bye.